Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Good Keyboard Friends podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Hubers the Mad, and I am with my other co-host today. It's a full house. We have the itsy bitsy beige machine, Tanghus. We have the guy who wants to be put in everybody's cup in the morning, James. And then we have the Batman of the keyboard hobby, Simon. And
the beige knight.
We need him, but we don't need him. I don't know what the quote is.
He's not the hero we need, but he's not the hero we deserve either. But we have him.
We have him.
The beige knight.
Yeah. But today we have an amazing guest, someone that's going to be on for future episodes, someone that I knew everybody wanted to listen to, the late, the great, the Paul, even though he's not late.
Hello. What do you mean the late?
Like I don't know. I wanted to. I didn't use the word,
guys. It's the ghost. What you're looking at is the actual ghost of Paul. Somebody starved Paul to death.
I mean, I am white enough, so there is that. Yeah.
God. Well, if you die, or if someone that you know has passed away and you want to bring them back to life, what better way than to roast a little bit of coffee? The smell of the coffee will wake them right up. And speaking of coffee, I want to talk about our sponsor, Jay's Roastery. Until the end of June, which is this month, 2025, you can use coupon code Flamingo for 10% off your entire coffee order.
The fuck was that segue?
I don't
know. that was phenomenal. That was the best one yet.
Flamingo.
To bring your code Flamingo, guys.
We're not getting sponsors after this, right?
Nope. I fucked it up.
Ever.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it's not like we were getting paid for the sponsor.
International people, please email Jay before you submit your order. I don't even think Shopify will let you submit an order if you're international, but yeah.
Yeah, probably not.
I will link the email below. I will link the Jay's Roastery website below. Again, coupon code Flamingo. Right now we have 3 different blends. We have the fiction blend, the sci-fi blend, and the classics blend. So light, medium dark. Jay,
and if you're in the UK and you need your coffee fix and you want to support your local Jay, please support your local Jay.
Hell yeah. He's a good keyboard friend and a good person. But yeah, so today we have Paul. And for those of you that don't know, he is one of the best people in the hobby.
He is one of the sexiest men in the hobby, 100%.
Yeah. Paul, you're amazing, dude.
I'll take it. Yeah. No, thanks for inviting. This is a really cool initiative. Like, wish we started this a couple of years ago. I think it would have been like cool to have a sensible space for people to talk. But better late than never, right?
Right. We may have missed the boat, but we're still in the water.
Speaking of missing the boat, if you are watching or listening and have missed the boat on who Paul is a keyboard designer who makes keyboards. Sometimes they're TKL and don't have brass. Sometimes they're HHKB and don't have Topra. And the other times, he's shutting down his vendor business because the Middle East is not a great market for keyboards.
Yeah. It's a tough market.
I mean, ever since I moved out, it's no longer a good market for keyboards.
You were the only person buying things?
He wasn't even buying. I was showing up to his house with 2,000 switches in a kitchen Tupperware thing and being like, I can't be bothered to count 80 switches. Here's 2,000.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, Paul, I need enough for a build. Here, I'll show you. Hold up.
Oh my God.
He's got the tub. Listen, nobody was buying them anyway, so what's,
Oh my God.
I've used quite a few of these switches, but
holy shit.
Yep.
I hope the audio listeners are getting this.
Oh, I hope so. The 800 Cherry MX Black ASMR.
Yeah,
this is Cherry Maraca Blacks, basically.
Crunchy. That's crunchy audio.
Well, Paul, I know I wanted to start off with something that's kind of a softball question, something to get the blood flowing, for those of you that don't know, so especially me, because I only was introduced to you, or I only met you after many years of you already being in the hobby. How did you get into keyboards?
Shit. This was a long time ago. I think like 2018 or something like that. I had a. Do you guys remember Logitech, the G Pro with the Roma G?
Yeah.
So that's what I had at the time, and then I was like, "Oh,
My God,
I
Roma
hate how
G.
this feels." And then I went and bought like some membrane thing from Razer, and then I stumbled across the subreddits for mechanical keyboards, and I'm like, "This is pretty cool." And somehow, because I'm not very good at tailoring my YouTube algorithm, I guess, I came across this Australian dude. Is it Tay Keyboards or something? He was like one of the only guys doing content around custom stuff at the time. And I got kind of hooked on his videos for like 6 months straight and kind of learning things from that. The very first mod I did, like I got some 206 grade 2 and shoved that into stabs. And to this day, that's my go-to loop for stabs because it worked. It's fine. I ended up buying like first custom. I did like a plastic case. I got a T-shirt and I cut up a T-shirt because that seemed to be a common mod at the time. Just like get an old T-shirt that doesn't fit anymore. Stuff that into like some Tofu 60 PCB and some PBT cabs, and that was it. And then I started tinkering with that, and then slowly got into fancier stuff. I think a year had gone by, and I was watching Black Simon on Twitch. And I had no idea he was in Dubai as well.
Not only that, we lived like what was it, a 4 to 5 minute walk from each other.
Yeah, so at the time, I used to live in there's a place called JLT here, which is about 20 minutes or 10 minutes away. And then I moved into the neighborhood that I'm in now, and that's the same neighborhood that Simon was in. Like you could walk for 5 minutes. That's how close I was. So Unknown H was the guy to make the link of all people to be like, hey, do you know if this guy exists? I'm like, no. What? And then, yeah, that's how I was introduced to Simon, and then kind of things just kicked off from there as well. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool way to kind of figure out. Oh, there's a cool guy on Twitch, but he's actually here. It was pretty cool.
That's so awesome. Imagine all of a sudden you find your best friend or like a really good friend, and they live 5 minutes away. They're into the same hobby as you. That's like divine intervention. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the dream right there.
Yeah.
But,
Absolutely.
And I'll say this till like after, what's it, like 7 years now? Like the whole point of this thing is like who you meet, right? If it wasn't for H, who we all joke about is the most cursed person in the hobby,
It's not a joke.
when I met him. So it's like that. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Do you two remember where you went? Did you go over to his house, to Simon's house, or did Simon go over to your house? Or
Oh yeah, I never leave my house.
Yeah, he never leaves his house. There were many, many nights, especially during COVID, where it's like, not even nights, like full days, where it just ends up being watching the shittiest TV shows possible, like for the lore. It was it turned into something like more than keyboards, which was pretty cool. And I was like, as with all hobbies, again, it's who you meet and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was really cool.
holy shit. That's so cool. That really is the dream. Like, for me, it reminds me of growing up and then meeting your childhood friend, who lives down the block or lives right beside you, and then you just have a fucking awesome time. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You could be watching the shittiest TV show. You could be just, I don't know, doing homework together. Anything. Doing it together, that's fucking awesome, dude.
That's the point, right?
Yeah. Especially, well, okay, I'm not going to say especially in Dubai, but what's the mechanical keyboard community like in Dubai? Is there a lot of people there?
Dead. It's dead.
Oh.
You can count on like 20 people in Dubai.
Well,
and then if you go outside of Dubai, you'll actually find quite a few more.
yeah, for context, like keep in mind that like Dubai and the UAE is predominantly full of expats, so people that move there to work. If you consider that, very few people are going to be into hobbies and spend money on hobbies, right? So you get some people in Dubai, and Abu Dhabi is pretty good because that's where the actual like local Emirati people predominantly live, and you know they're not there as expats, so they have hobbies and whatnot. So through that lens, it's not like you know the Dubai hobby is dead. It's just no hobby of any sort really exists, you know.
Mm. How far are the two for Dubai and Abu Dhabi? Like
What
an
is
hour?
it, like 40 minutes, 50?
To like Abu Dhabi city itself, it's like an hour drive at about 140. So, um, it's. I mean, it's not too bad. It's a straight road. Um, I will give like a shout out to a bunch of the Abu Dhabi guys because they are some of the most based people in the hobby. Um, the amount of vintage stuff here is actually quite incredible. You just wouldn't expect it, but um, uh, I'd say like the first person that comes to mind is Bitten. He has the most crazy vintage stuff, or
And
like
Nova.
and Nova also.
Nova's
Um,
got some wild stuff.
they import everything and then they modify the absolute crap out of everything. It's pretty cool to kind of see that little subset of the hobby here. Um, and if anything, I kind of respect that a bit more. Yeah.
Holy shit. Tangus, did you know that? I know Tangus is huge into vintage, as well as Simon as well, but have you
I wouldn't
seen
say huge, but like Bitten's basic model restoration guide is like the go-to for basically anyone that wants to get into vintage, especially Model M's, which are still abundant, and it's the cheapest way into any vintage these days, and the best. But even if it's cheap, it's still like.
I agree. A Model M is like one of, I always tell people it's one of the keyboards every single person should own. Like, you don't need to have a super fancy one. Just like try and find like a Model M in good condition, like a 1991 or whatever, something with a PS2 port instead of, you know, try it. It's fantastic. It's an experience. You may not like it, but it is probably like the best bang for the buck, like keyboard period, like vintage or custom. $50, you get something like that. Like, sure, you gotta like throw an additional 20 at it to like be able to like remap keys, and you only have 2 key rollover. But keep in mind, 2 key rollover is like 2 key minimum rollover. Like I've been able to do like 5, 6 keys. I played PUBG on a Model M, you know. So
PUBG on a Model M on the floor.
If it was good enough for the Quake people in the 90s, it surely must be good enough for the PUBG people today.
Yeah. That's so
So-
cool.
But actually, like, I mostly lurk in the vintage community, I will admit, because that's a deep sea to get caught in. But for sure, like, Bitten is such a resource on anything modding, on anything like getting essentials like solenoid working in Model M's, which are so.
Yeah,
sure,
whenever we've done a meetup, he's taken up half the space. So
it will take tables generally.
I
He's
think
like
the
he's
coolest thing
shown
he
up with
had.
boards. He has shown up with boards that plug into the fucking wall. No, not computers. The keyboard plugs into the wall.
You've don't forget the aircraft carrier keyboard. Yeah, he had like a unit that must have been like at least a meter wide. Straight from an aircraft carrier.
Holy shit!
2 of them.
How did he get that?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry, don't ask too many questions. Yeah, but stuff like that just makes me laugh. It's great.
Yeah, Beaton is amazing. One of the sweetest guys, and like most everyone in the UAE community, at least people like in our circle, me and Paul's circle, were like real chill, real cool people, very wholesome, you know, and that's nice to see. Like when you show up to a meetup, although it's not big, there's like 20, 30 people there, but you know, there's there's no normies, there's no greedy people, there's no like the people you don't want at a meetup. You show up and everybody's fucking amazing, you know. There's younger people, they're like 15, 16, but you know, they're respectful, they're quiet, they're not fucking up your shit. So it's good.
That's fucking awesome. Is he the one that did the mod to your SSK?
Yep, he did the cushionless mod, replaced my controller and added a solenoid. And it was great. Unfortunately, I need to like figure out the firmware and like reflash the firmware because the default key map on it, like on boot, is real fucking weird. I mean, it's fine. Like I have to manually enable the solenoid to do dual action, and then I have to manually bring down the actuation time, the trigger time. And I'm pretty sure I could just do that in firmware, so it's on boot, it's fine. But I don't touch the SSK enough, so I feel bad.
So Paul,
It's
you
right
were.
here.
Oh. Oh.
That's beautiful.
There it is.
Thok, Arab Thok.
So before you met Simon, you were obviously in the hobby still because you were modding and stuff like that. But that's when you really start to meet other people around you, like in Abu Dhabi and things like that. Or how did you meet everybody?
I think it was like one day with like, so Lavador and Catto had made like an Arab keyboard community. But again, it was very, I don't know how he found me. I can't really remember. But he was like, let's just make it for the whole GCC rather than just Qatar or just a single country. And then so that started to grow quite a bit, and then we were like, screw it, let's just have our first meetup. Let's go take over a coffee shop. And to be fair, we knew like the perfect place for it. It was this like motorbike cafe. So like downstairs they do like they service custom motorbikes and stuff like that, and then they've got a whole like upstairs pavilion mezzanine section. And it's just basically a massive warehouse, and they were super kind to us and let us do that. So we're like, okay, cool, show up. There's no limit. Like we'll see who shows up, and like we never did any kind of like ticket or anything. The only thing we asked for was if you pay for coffee, just pay the bill. Simple as that. Because if there's one thing you kind of have to know about like Arabs in general, they will like fight tooth and nail over who gets to pay. Because like they have to make you feel welcome, right? The first time we had the meetup and there was like a bill of like 1,000, like someone had buggered off. We couldn't figure out who it was, and there were 3 or 4 people fighting the cashier to say, "Let me pay, let me pay, let me pay." And then we all went to dinner afterwards, and like nothing happened. You know, it was crazy.
Holy shit!
But like that's kind of how it started, and how we met people, and then from there. People would obviously kind of become friends and kind of do their own thing. I can say that for people like Garf and stuff. Like I wasn't big into photography and stuff, but he's like really into like this cars and cameras kind of thing that he does.
Yeah, you're notoriously bad for just falling into every single expensive hobby, aren't you? Like
We'll
you're
get
into
onto that.
watches. I got you into watches, audio. You got IEMs. You're into cars. You're into photography. Shit. What expensive hobby is Paul still missing? Pens, I guess. And cocaine.
Telescope.
Telescope. That's not an expensive hobby. That's like it is an expensive hobby, but it's not a hobby that's expensive by default. Because like you can make your own fucking telescope.
Cars is not an expensive hobby by default either. Watches are not an expensive hobby by default either. So, like, telescopes.
Okay, when I say watches, I mean luxury watches. And when I say audio, I mean like audiophile grade stuff.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah, with audio, I kind of just skipped a whole bunch of things and bought quite expensive IEMs and was like, yeah, I'm done. So, like, in terms of like going into a hobby quite deep and committing to it, like, I think audio is one of the few where I just kind of went straight to something that I knew I wanted and was very happy with the purchase. Watches.
wait.
Let's not go there.
Before we get into that, for people that are getting into audio, like I know it may seem scary to go spend like $1,000 on IEMs or $2,000 on a pair of headphones, but like you're gonna have them forever. And if you're gonna use them daily, buy them. Like I also skipped quite a few steps and like went up directly to like $2,000 fucking headphones. I didn't really have the money. Like I saved up for them, but like it's a forever purchase. It's fucking worth it. You end up spending more money if you upgrade naturally for quite a few things, you know? Like don't be afraid to get a nice pair of headphones. Don't go all out and like, you know, buy the best audio stack you can. No, buy a nice pair of headphones and then like work around it. Figure everything else around that initial entry. Sorry.
See, this is the
That's
exact
fair.
talk that Simon gave to Paul, that mousetrapped Paul into buying $1,000 IEMs, right?
No? Nope. Paul
Actually,
was
no.
into IEMs before he
I
met
was
me.
like,
If
um,
anything, I saved him money.
yeah. So I think the first set of IEMs were like Final Audio E3000, which are like the king of like budget IEMs because they're like $50 and they unironically have the best tips you can buy at any price. And then I was like, I tried some Sennheisers and I was like, these are nice. Let's see what's available. And you could buy like a pair of used 800S. And then I found the IE600 on discount. So I was like, yoink. And just went and straight bought them.
That's actually
So-
good to know because so it as long as you're somewhat you were somewhat responsible getting to that purchase, right, Paul, to your current IEMs. Like it's not
Yeah,
like you just
I knew what I wanted, right? Like I knew I wanted like an IEM that would last forever kind of thing. And even like I've had one of them replaced for free by Sennheiser. So it's like, whatever, like I just knew what I was buying. But when it comes to everything else, I just kind of buy like a whole bunch of things. Cameras have actually been a hobby that I've kind of avoided for the most part. Like this is like, I think, I don't know how much in dollars. Blazivi E10 as a second camera is a fantastic
Oh,
camera.
you're using an E10?
E10D's nuts.
E10, these
Yes.
nuts! Got him! Sorry.
I fucking knew it was coming. Like, Jesus Christ. I had a 6600 and I upgraded to the 67, and like that will be like a perfect video camera if I need it. And yeah, like I know what I want to go to, but I'm not like urging to spend more money right now. So
God, I wish
Yeah.
I had money for cameras. Oh, get an FX6 and another FX6 and another FX6 and another FX6.
yeah.
The cameras that Alessio loves, those Leica cameras, are those only for photography or can you do video?
They do a little bit of video, but they're not like predominantly video cameras. They're hybrid cameras for the most part. And just as like, I don't know, I think you guys should all know this, but like most hybrid cameras are kind of shit for shooting video. Like if you buy a Canon camera, like it's hard to use it for streaming or like videography or whatever because they don't want to cannibalize their cinema line. Sony performs very, very well when it comes to video. Like if you want to buy a camera like 90% for video, you always get a Sony basically. It never makes sense to get anything else.
That's super cool to hear because and any of you four can interject and say that I'm incorrect in what I'm going to say, but it seems like there's many different strategies to get to what you want in terms of different hobbies. But the one factor that everybody should remember is just to not go into debt for any purchases, right? It's okay if you skip a couple steps and you get the IEMs that you've always wanted and they're like $1,000, but you shouldn't go into debt, or you shouldn't get into debt when you're buying. No. Oh God!
I
damn
love
it.
how me and Paul are just smiling. Oh, I see Jade smiling too. Is
No,
Tanghus
fuck.
smiling? I think we're all fucking guilty.
God damn.
I think we've all done it.
Okay.
You know
okay.
what?
I know-
like,
I
in-
know
in
I've done
principle,
it.
you're correct.
Yeah, in principle, you're right.
But in reality,
like,
sometimes
yeah. I mean, listen, situation
No.
is everything, all right? Like,
if you can afford to pay back the financing in a reasonable pace, and you don't fuck yourself over like that, yeah. Do it. No problem.
if you can use credit as a tool instead of a crutch, then it's absolutely fine. You just got to be smart. Don't overextend yourself. It goes without saying, but you know, if a board's real expensive and you got to get it on a credit card and pay it off after like over 2 or 3 months, that's okay, as long as you are okay with that.
Hey, I mean, even
finance
some
it for longer than you expected, like
Yeah,
lifetime of a
you
product.
can just do like a payment plan or whatever for like 12 months.
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with paying it all full, but in advance, and also some introductory things like loans or credit cards. You can take advantage of like 0% APR and actually spend less taking a loan or a line of credit than actually paying it outright. Depending on your finances. But
I will admit, though, like the only thing I ever financed, like of tech, is one of my cheapest purchases ever. That's only because I saved money on financing it.
There you go. That's the play.
what is it?
Basically, the cheapest, scummiest Samsung, which was
Wait.
like
Like what? Like an A53 or something?
A53 5G, and I think it was like $400 here for the carrier, like pretty cheap. But basically, the carrier said if you finance it over the next year, we'll lob another $50 off the price.
There you go.
I was like,
There you
fine,
go.
don't mind that. But
As long as it's less than the interest, you've made money basically.
Exactly.
So
it's like the only thing because typically I've always been like saving up, buying it out of pocket. Because typically also by saving up, you do the one thing is that you allow other things to come in. You have more time to like evaluate your purchase.
You allow yourself to like look at your decision as well. It's like the equivalent of like putting shit in your cart but not checking out. That's basically saving up. Is every day you think about it and you're just like, maybe let's not do that. Do I really need a $715 keyboard that's going to cost me over $800 all in when I
Yes, you
can't
do.
afford it? And I really need a
Absolutely.
vehicle right now because I literally don't have a vehicle in America, the worst place to not have a vehicle. I'm still going to fucking buy the 21XX. I don't give a shit.
It has a
But
solenoid.
also like saving up.
I don't care, okay? I'm going to figure out a way to make $715 with it, all right? Like, surely you can hurt somebody with that, right? You can take that into a bank.
I think you could hurt them multiple times.
give me a line of credit or else. Like what is this?
Nobody move. All right.
This is a police. The robber, his weapon is a keyboard. Wait, say that again. You just have to
Like a piano?
It's literally the grand piano's on a crane and he's about to drop it. What is the 21XX? Someone's got to make a video of that.
Okay,
Yeah.
Paul, let's I actually have like one keyboard question that's like important,
Go
and
for
then
it.
we can move on and just talk shit. What pushed you to start designing and like making keyboards specifically? Because like you talked about your entry, what made you start designing, and then ultimately what made you, and don't blame me, become a vendor?
I actually have a good answer for that. I think many people know that the reason I made the Safa was because I couldn't get my hands on the original KFE.
Shit. Oh, that was my fault. Okay. Yep. My bad.
No, like it was nice, and I thought, okay, can I try and make a board that's simple enough for people to get extra parts for, and then, but also like to my taste, so make it lightweight, make it sound good, and just do that. So I tried. I made the first prototype with Dadison. That was kind of my introduction into the Chinese manufacturing side of things, and they did like some really good analyzation, and I was really happy. And it wasn't cheap, but it was cheaper then than it was now. For I assume new designers kind of get screwed with quotes. But luckily, I was set up with one of the best like agents you could imagine.
Let's go and not say the name out loud.
Yep,
We know who it is.
Yeah,
We know who it is. We all know who it is. We know who the best rep is, and we're not sharing. Fuck you guys.
Since that day, like Dadison have actually been really good with to me. Kind of skipping over a few steps here, but like when they, mistakenly made too many units of one of my group buys without me even like paying, they started and to remake the new ones, and we agreed that as soon as they're in Dubai, I'll pay them, and they were perfectly fine with that. And I mean, a few years had passed, and you built up the trust, right? So anyway, back to that. That's how I started the Safa TKL. That ran through my keyboard. everyone knows the kind of thing that happened there. But look, I made it happen in the end, and everyone got the board, and I'm happy that everyone did.
It ended up being a nice buy. Like everyone is happy with their boards. It's one of those runs. It's very clean. Every time I see a Safa, like it's a gorgeous build. You can tell people have like put the effort into it. You know, it's one of those. Like there's a
Like, I'm not
handful
one
of
for-
boards that are like that.
Like, I'm not one for kind of extravagant blockers and stuff like that, and I wanted to keep it kind of minimalistic, like the KFE, right? And the KFE was purely about the typing experience, nothing else, right? In my eyes, anyway. So I kind of wanted to replicate that, but I don't know. I think I did a good job. I was happy with it, and I didn't really care if anyone else wasn't. Like, I'll speak about this later,
So
but like, if I'm happy using the board, then surely some others are going to be happy, right? It's created in my vision. Like, if I'm not happy with it, then why should anyone else buy it? So, yeah. In fact, it's still on my desk. So,
Hell
Still using
yeah!
with
Is
the best-
that the one with
best
the
piece of-
tactiles? And the PP
it
plate?
is the one with the PP and tactiles. I did take off DCS.
Tactile PP so good.
But do you want black PP or white PP?
Yes.
I got white PP and then decided to Sharpie the entire fucking plate. So it stank. It stank. I was like, I'm too cheap or I'm too broke to spend X amount of money on a plate, so I'm going to Sharpie the shit out of it.
Isn't the solvent that they put in the Sharpie like destructive towards plastics? No, it's a Sharpie. You can write on anything. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
I mean, it depends on the solvent they're using because there's a million different Sharpies, a million different use cases.
Yeah, but like I presume they've made them to like not eat away plastics.
Yeah, it's fine. You can draw on everything. But yeah, then so after Safa, I was like, "Fuck this! I want to do my own stuff. I want to take control, right?" Because even though I was the designer, I kind of had to be a temporary employee at the vendor to get things over the line, right? So
Would say that's an
I helped them
understatement.
out, like other projects, and got some other projects delivered. But I just knew that if I did it myself and set some real expectations for myself, like reasonable expectations, I could. And then I ran the buddy, and
Buddy.
I think it was one of the most flawless. Well, except for J canonizing, which I think is pretty famous. The actual group by itself with Dadison was fantastic, and I was like, yeah, okay, let's go again. Type B.
Wait, didn't the buddy like wasn't there like a refabrication that was required for like the internal weights or something? Am I hallucinating
Basically,
here?
I did a private run,
Okay,
and the
that's what I remember.
anodization was possibly the worst I've ever seen out of China. It was terrible. So I was like, screw this. Okay, I know I pitched it at $300. It's now going to be $400. It's going to be made at Dadison, and it's going to be made in this much time. And we stuck to the timeline and got everything shipped out. And I priced everything in such a way that like the vendor takes the margin, takes the risk, and like until 4 weeks ago, I didn't pay myself out for it. So I just left all the money inside of the vendor accounts. And I was like, well, that's kind of the most responsible thing, because if I need to go and remake stuff, I have the extra cash to go and do it. So that's kind of just how and why I set it up. Like, I knew if I was in control of it, I could get things done. So that was it. Also, shipping to Dubai or shipping to the Middle East absolutely sucks. So while there were people in the hobby in the Middle East, I could ship domestically or through Aramex, and it'd be a lot cheaper for people. So I was happy to take on that extra cost just to help a few people out. So I was more of like a guy in the community who was willing to help people out than an actual vendor. So that was kind of my take on it for the most part.
So that's why you started vendoring. You just want to help people in the community.
Pretty much.
What a guy! Holy shit, dude.
Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you he's the handsomest man in the hobby?
He's the handsomest man. He's the
Also,
nicest
Simon
man.
told me that I should have started like a year earlier or 2 years earlier, which I didn't. I was so reluctant to do it, and I was like, "Oh, I need. How much money do I need? I only need like 6,000 dirham to start the business to make it legal." But I just delayed for the stupid reasons. When looking back on it, like if I started a year earlier, like I could have actually maybe profited from it and treated it as a second job rather than just kind of a thing, right? So, but again, I didn't ever really want the vendor to be a second job. Kind of in the last year or two, it did, and it was kind of draining. But still, it was responsible till the very last day. So, yep.
Which you can't say that for many of it. Oh,
Was that Violet? Oh,
If you guys can
Violet.
hear that. Hello.
Paul. So
Sorry, I got two cats. They love
Yeah.
to complain. Well, one is sitting in the sim rig, and the other is complaining. So
are they close enough so you can share them on screen? If not, that's fine. That's totally
I
fine.
can't pick them up. So
That's okay. That's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, they don't like to be picked up.
So the good cat
I
friend.
still picked
I
up
still
Violet.
heard
I didn't
fuck,
give
man.
a shit.
Now I know why Ham was aggressive to Simon. No, I was just joking. You picked him up
Ham's
without.
the best cat.
Is he? Is it
Ham-
only Simon?
Ham loves Paul, and Paul loves Ham because they're both orange.
One orange boy to another orange boy.
They just vibe. They just see the struggle and the pain of each other. Good to have a good friend, a good supportive friend.
Yeah, yeah.
Tom is a good friend. He's a
I
good
did-
keyboard friend, and he will be our next guest in the future.
Yes. Whether it's just like a 30-second episode or like 30 minutes of Ham cleaning himself, it is what it is. But when you were talking about the issue with the manufacturer, the one that and then you decided to raise the price up in order to have better quality, there was no way that you could have known that Chinese manufacturer would have done such a shitty job, right, Paul? Like beforehand.
No, I got prototypes, and the prototypes were actually decent. There was a bit of color matching issue, but I mean, if you go to the best factory, you're gonna have an A and a B between a two-piece design. Like, sorry, I don't like seamless designs that much. So you're always gonna have some issue, reflectivity or actual color-wise. But I had something that was like, it's acceptable for the price range that I'm paying. And you have to, when you're kind of doing like the quality checks, you kind of have to say, like, you know, is this acceptable for 200? Is this acceptable for 300? Right? And then where's the line that you cannot cross? And the prototypes were, yeah, they just didn't cut it. So I was like, I'm sorry, I'll offer a refund for anyone in the private buy if you want. And then I had to take those numbers as a cost to the business and put that into just as a loss. Like I didn't feel right charging it back to future customers. So it was just a case of, okay, blank slate. The board is $420. Take it or leave it. And I think I sold like 50 or 60 units by myself. So I was like, okay, proof I can do it myself. No problem.
Fuck yeah. The reason I bring that up is James and I talked with Holly the previous episode about, obviously, if you go to DDS or like a very well-known manufacturer, most of the time you'll get pretty good quality, and if you don't, they'll be able to make it right, and for most part. But if you take a chance on someone that's not as well-known, even if you do your research, it's just the nature of prototyping, right? And I this is for both of you, Paul and James, but it's not like you would go out and knowingly pick a manufacturer that does a shit job. You just don't know until the prototype comes in.
I would for a Fitment proto. I'd go with a known, like Paul's probably got a go-to for this as well, where like you just need a fitment proto. You need to like hear what it's going to sound like and like make sure everything works. You get one. You know, you
Yeah,
go to
I've got two. So like I got a data sim for anything that I need anodized, and then I've got my cheap one where I can go do powder coating after if I really want to, right? And I think if you're gonna take that route, like fine, you can go cheaper on the machining side as long as your finishing is flawless. Your powder coating is flawless, and you don't do it in China. It's as simple as that. You do it locally, or you find somewhere or something. But it is the luck of the draw, really. You don't know anything until you've tried it, especially as a Western customer to them. It kind of different. I think I don't know if James can comment on this, but I think different
within China,
rules.
there's discrimination.
Rules is not the right word, but yeah.
Mhm.
Within China, there's levels of discrimination based on like how connected you are, because like, I mean, it's just the nature of it. Even between like Westerners, white people, Paul, like we get different treatment. Oh yes,
Nope.
no,
Shit.
oh
You
fuck.
get it?
Sorry. Continue.
No,
Yeah,
man.
like you said earlier that like, you know, people just coming in now establishing a relationship are probably not going to get the pricing or the quality that, you know, people that have built up that relationship long term have. So it is what it is.
It's true. Have any thoughts on that, James?
Yeah, I would say it's a very different approach if you whether you speak the language or not. I guess it helps massively just by knowing how they operate, sort of, or knowing the culture a little bit. And then you sort of are in a different playing field, I would say. Yeah, so it's I guess it's quite a different experience between Paul and me, I guess, even with the same manufacturer. Like the way the relationship is built, or the way we work on certain projects, it's always quite different, I would say. Yeah.
But that's also manufacturing business in general, in all across the globe, is the prices you get when you start out getting someone quoted and getting something run, compared to having it run or having run multiple projects for any manufacturer. At least I can say vouch for here in Denmark for all the production here is. You're going to get a prices. The more product, the more business you put in the more actually put in this basket, basically, the better prices you're going to get.
Yep.
So it's always about breaking the ice, starting out, getting things rolling.
Yep. And there are shortcuts to it. Like you can show projects that you're going to be releasing. You can show that there is a future. It would be the equivalent of like showing somebody a deck, a business plan, a timeline, something. So like they have that idea, because like I was able to get remarkably good pricing from DDS, and like I didn't run much, but I had a very good rep. We had a very good relationship, and I was very clear that, listen, I want to use you guys for any project going forward, and I have this, and this plan. So like help me out here, and we can make it happen over there.
All about showing like here's the potential pipeline if this goes well, because like any manufacturer will be hungry to get the business going.
Exactly.
Especially if they see there is more business. And
Yep. And that'll help you have a bargaining chip in terms of like, if you, for example, end up with some units that have like subpar finishing, you can be like, hey, listen, I can't sell this because if I sell this, that this impacts the future projects. I'm not going to be able to, I want to be able to show the level of quality that's possible. So like, help me out. And generally they'll do it.
Yep.
That makes sense. That makes sense. And hey, if shit goes sideways, then you deal with it then. Speaking of that, though, have you always loved cats, or did you get cats as kind of like a way to kind of de-stress and just to play with them after work?
I've had cats and dogs my whole life. I grew up on a farm, so that's yeah. For someone who lives in Dubai, it's quite a change. But there's a billion cats here, and they're almost seen as pets. They're pests. So it's always good to kind of take a few off the street and give them a home,
I think people take pretty good care of cats in Dubai. Like people feed them, people leave water out for them. Like people aren't dicks. People don't go out of their way.
In general, yeah, they do. But I've always had cats. So yeah, they are good for like de-stress, but they sometimes also escalate your heart rate.
Yeah, at 3 a.m. with
That's
the
such a
zoomies.
roundabout way of saying that they really do piss you off at the worst time possible. Um, but that's just cats, right? Like it's their house. It's not your house. So
Yeah. So you have two right now, and are they both? Did you find them on the street, or did you adopt them from a shelter? Or?
they're both in the street. One fell down a 20-foot fire escape hatch, and the other was 4 weeks old on the beach by itself. So
Oh.
yeah. Before that, I had a cat, but Mac, if you remember him.
Mac.
Rest in
He was
peace.
so nice.
It was like a 4-year-old cat with feline AIDS, and was in a shelter, like being horribly treated. And he only had a few months to live. So I used to work with a charity, and they were like, "Do you know anyone that can give him a home?" So I was like, "Hey, you can stay with me," and he stayed with me for like
A while.
maybe 6 months more than he was expected to live. And he was the most nervous cat you could imagine. But in the end,
What do you mean?
like,
He was all right.
yeah, but when you saw him, he was all right. But like, he was horrible for like a whole month. He wasn't social at all. But at least in the end, he was super friendly with strangers and whatnot. So I know that like he felt a lot more at peace. And you know, to me, like looking after animals is kind of my good Samaritan thing. So you know, that's just my way of being nice in this world, I guess.
Yeah. No, that's amazing, and the reason I say that is, I'm sure we've all had experiences where we have a pet that passes away. It's
we lost one of our cats like 3 weeks ago.
yeah, like almost a year ago, last Father's Day, we had a cat. His name was Happy. He was an orange cat. He was an orange boy, just like Paul and Ham. Got him from the streets. He lived to be 12, 13 years old. All of a sudden, he couldn't use his hind legs. And we're like, oh, fuck. Here we go. Brought him to the vet. Was it the same situation as yours and Kate's cat?
So
blood.
When I arrived in February, one additional cat died on the day of my arrival. That one was 21. Maisie didn't look 21, was completely normal up until the point her hind legs went out, and they took her to the vet, and they're just like, all right, she's 21. She's not going to survive this. We need to put her down.
That's shitty. Yeah.
The other one was diabetes. We presume she was sick for a while.
Fuck, dude. It really hurts, yeah. It's like, especially if it's been someone, if it's been a cat that's been with you for a while or that you've had a connection with, it almost seems like, you know,
it's
part
like
of
losing
you
a family member to some degree. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, of course.
And the reason why I say all this is because as much pain as we feel when they pass away, the thing that I think is super cool about what you do, Paul, what you did for Mac, is that you knew that Mac was going to pass away, but you wanted him to die in the best possible circumstances. Like you yourself, you may have had many cats and will have many cats in your life that will make a positive impact on your life. But Mac has less people, you know. He has, for us, it's like, oh, it's another cat, you know, but for him it's like, it's more because he has less time to live. You made such a huge impact on his life, and that's so cool how you specifically took him, even though you know that he was going to pass away soon. Like, you made his life fantastic till the end.
You try to be good to animals in general, right? It's like I'm not one for like being like religious or anything like that, but good deeds will always come back, right? So it's just why not?
Yeah, why not
be nice?
Why not do the little thing? Like,
You know?
Hubert, you said, like, when you're nice to a cat, it makes a huge impact. But like, if just the little niceties, the little nice things that, you know, we all do, you don't know how big of an impact that has on each individual person. It could be a huge impact for some people. Somebody could be having the absolute worst fucking day of their lives, you know, but you contribute some positivity, and I don't know. We should all strive to just be fucking decent people, you know? Just be all right. Be nice to animals. Be nice to people. Don't be a dick for no reason.
Yeah. To you, it may seem like something small, but to them, you don't know what they're going through. It might be a huge, like a life-changing experience for the better.
Also worth remembering that positivity doesn't come free. It's not something that you wake up and have to feel. It's basically something that you have to take on yourself. You have to force yourself to think positive. You have to. This is a mindset that you have to enforce upon yourself. And it's rough in the start. It's really going to be rough. But over time, if you keep doing it, it becomes easier. And over time, it will become something that you just are. And being positive and being there for people and being understanding and having that chat with them, more supporting the cat in this case, which is also really great. It's tough work, but it becomes easier. And it's absolutely worth doing it, because if you really want to do a change, start with a simple change in the world, is doing it on a local level. And that is being there for someone. Even if people always say, like, yeah, whoever deserves the treatment, etc. It's not about deserving. Like, just do it. Make it a thing of your own. Like, of course, people shouldn't abuse your positivity, abuse your trust, but being there and doing it, and being there for someone, that will help.
For sure.
All right, on that note, Paul, tell us about your racism. Hard pivot.
Jesus fucking
Paul will
Christ.
translate what I just said, because that's like internal lingo.
I think he means sim racing.
Yeah, your sim racism setup.
Fucking hell. That just caught me off guard, man.
We got him.
I've been a motorsports guy since I was young, but it's just like, I don't know. I got so bored of computer games, and then I'm like, oh, you remember like Gran Turismo on the PlayStation and stuff like that? And then
Gran Turismo 4?
Oh,
Yeah,
two. Two was
I
the
can't-
good one.
I
4
got,
was amazing.
4 is good, but like 2 is really good.
Oh, was 2 better than 4?
I will die on that hill, but yes.
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
Gran Turismo 2
emulate.
is a special game. It's a special game.
Okay, I've never played it. I only like picked up the 4 when I got into the series.
Because the first one was so like unique, but then the second one had so much improvement for the time. It was special. Yeah.
What was it
But
for?
yeah.
The PS1 or the PS2?
It's for
One.
the PS1.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway, racism. I don't know, that's just another hobby I kind of threw myself into. It's like video games are a really, really good escape from reality, that's for sure. And it's a good form of entertainment. But
By that you mean like PC gaming's already real expensive, but you're going to double it by doing sim racing and then double it again by streaming it.
yeah, well, if Twitch in Dubai, let's not get into that. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a hobby that, like, a few of the people in the keyboard community also kind of jumped in on at the same time, and it's just cool. It's just fun. And then, like, so I bought a car in January, and then decided, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna go track days now. So
You've tracked it?
yeah, I tracked it at Autodrome, and
Is it nice?
I really, really, really fucked up the front bumper.
I mean, well, yeah, you took it to the track.
No, just the underside. Like I have to buy some lips for it just to kind of protect the paint. But doing that kind of stuff here is really fun because you meet other people also through that. Like any kind of cars event. So again, Garf introduced me to a whole bunch of like vintage, like JDM people here, like that love that kind of stuff, and they have been to a million different car events and stuff. There's some pretty cool car shows. Before Simon left, we took him to this annual thing called Grand Picnic, which was pretty cool. You
There's a
saw
lot of cool stuff there.
you saw a lot of cool stuff. You also saw a lot of shit boxes, but
When Paul said shit boxes, we're talking like current generation Supras. That's what we consider shit boxes.
yeah, or R35s or something like that. But
R35 is fine.
the 34 is
That's
better.
great, right? Like,
The 34
Yeah, of
is
course,
my
of course, the 34 is better, but the 35 is fine.
I know.
Also,
I'm,
like,
not-
It's a technical
I'm just
marvel.
I'm just trying to trigger comments, okay?
It's a technical. They made a $250,000 car for $80,000. That's
No,
a technical fucking marvel.
It's
they kept it
it's
on the
pretty cool.
market.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, sure, it had transmission issues. Sure, it was sussy. Sure, it's still a Nissan. But you know what? They were all fucking hand built.
Oh, it's
Some
solid,
Japanese
it's
guy
solid.
fucking went to town on that car.
What were you saying, Tanghus?
I was saying, can't build transmission issues without Nissan.
Oh
Holy shit,
gosh.
dude.
But yeah, like things like that were really cool. Then from that group, I met the track group, and then there was an event this morning. There's like a cars and cookies thing.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. But there's like a coffee shop that's run by a bunch of locals down at the port, so down near Dira. And they basically have like open warehouses that you drive through, and you just park your car in there and like whatever, off you go, kind of thing. Pretty cool kind of concept to have. And then like just today, I happened to run into a bunch of like super guys who just happened to who I met at the track, and they were pretty much encouraging me. Yeah, you should come and do Time Attack in November, and I'm like. And it's like, okay, cool. It's like, yeah, you were driving fast on track. So I'm like, yeah, I learned this from the sim. Racism is good.
Indeed.
Sim racing.
No. I'm gonna cut out when he says sim racism. I'm just gonna keep racism in general.
That's
Racism
going
is
to be
good.
clipped. But no, like, again, like keyboards into cameras, into cars, into track days, into like it's
Watches
crazy.
and audio just sprinkled.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how like things can like lead to another. And I will always come back to this point that like the hobby is cool, but it's always about the people that you've met along the way. And you never know what kind of like doors will open.
Yeah, because everyone's
for
into like
friendship.
different stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like, surely you'll find somebody that's into the stuff you're into, or that's into something you're probably going to be interested in. You know? Make friendships, guys. I know it's 2025 and, you know, there's brain rot on the internet and the world is literally on fire. But listen, make some friends through keyboards, all right? Like, that's the safest way to do it. Because, like, if you go to a keyboard place, everybody's going to be, like, super fucking, like, withdrawn, quiet, you know, compared to, like, going to, I don't know, a bar. So, make some friends.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say that because after Safa, I took a trip to the Netherlands keyboard meetup.
Oh,
Just because like I knew a few people through the European community, and I actually never felt so like welcomed by a bunch of people that I'd never met before, right? Because like you've met people in your local scene, but it's like, what about abroad? What about international? And you meet people that you've talked to for a long time in person, and it is a special feeling, like to finally like run into people that you know but you don't know, right? So shout out ClackyCon. It's pretty good. It's pretty enjoyable.
If you meet people and you make friends with people that are not around you, you know, what better way to spend a vacation or a holiday than to say like, hey, I'm gonna come over we can go to this meetup together. We can, you know, get together and hang out. That's so fucking cool. And the thing is, so many people in this hobby are from so many different communities and so many different countries. So you almost always know a guy at some different place, you know, like
I know a guy.
I know a guy. But it's cool that you both talk about Garf a lot, because me originally, I only knew Garf from Garf cables because Simon keeps talking about how he makes cables, even though he told you like stop telling people that I make cables or something like that.
Yeah, he's just I mean, he he was in the military.
I still have like his stuff.
Oh, bro, I've got like wait,
so cool.
just right here. Oh yeah.
For the audio listeners out there, Paul and Simon are showing off their Garf cables.
Yeah, but Simon's got a
Those are
humongous
very impressive.
cable.
Like what we're doing.
Simon, he always has the biggest.
That is definitely a length. That's
Why
that's
is
a full
Simon-
length indeed?
Bro, why are you compensating? Like what's going on here?
Simon's always the biggest. In every single room, Simon's always the biggest. I don't like it. Makes me feel small.
I mean, this was built for my stream setup because like my computer's far, and I wanted the option of like straight coil or parallel coil, and I wanted quick disconnects everywhere. So like if I wanted to like eliminate all the coils, right? Then you just eliminate all the coils, and you've got a perfectly straight cable. So like you,
Oh,
yeah, like or you can have a single coil or both coils. You know, it's big brain,
well, the reason I bring Garf
and
up,
it's triple sleeved, so you can do that, and it'll hold its shape.
I've never had a cable that can do that. That's so cool. I
What
saw a
you're
picture.
saying is stiff.
Yeah, but like it stays straight, and if you bend it, it keeps the bend. Like obviously, like that's heavy, but on a table, it keeps the bend.
I need to
Oh,
figure
sorry,
out.
it counts.
Just a DM Garf with code Flamingo for 10% off your custom triple sleeve cable.
He gets all these random Gmail DMs.
I'm sure he's gonna love it.
I don't
I
think
saw-
he likes making cables. Is the thing. Like you remember when Krellbit was like lubing switches to pay for college,
Oh, yeah.
and I was like, "What? You're gonna have to lube like 800,000 switches, dude." And eventually, he gave up.
Well, I've seen many pictures of Garf and you, Paul, at racing events. So, how often do you take the time to go out there and actually like watch a race, like F1 or whatever? Whenever.
I used to live next to the racetrack, and every winter I couldn't sleep. It's like from 2 kilometers away too. It's a shame because like it was built before the Bahrain track was built, and it was built to host the F1, but they lost the bid, and then in 2008, financial crisis, and it kind of became a relic of the financial crisis to this day. But they host quite a few events throughout the winter, and because I'm quite familiar with like what GT racing is in general, like I introduced Garf. I yoinked a media pass for both of us, and we got trackside, and we just had a lot of fun. So it's pretty cool to have that, and then also go to Yas Marina, which I think everybody knows what Yas Marina is, and be able to get the media access for that as well. He was never a motorsport guy, like motorsport photography guy, but I think like in the coming winter he'll probably do it again. I think he caught the bug. So it's yeah.
Fuck, dude. I'm going to save this for the next episode because it's gonna take a while. But Yas Island UFC, dude. Oh fuck, I can't wait to talk about MMA with you for the next episode.
Yes, Marab won. I'm so
Oh my
happy.
god. Yeah.
Okay, which episode is this so I can remove it from my calendar?
Oh, it's now.
Yeah.
Oh
See ya,
yeah,
guys.
that's another thing I'm like really into, and like
Yep,
there's very few
yep.
people in the keyboard community that are into martial arts.
Yes.
I mean, I used to do jiu-jitsu for 7 years, so it's like it's a thing I got into, and like whenever I see people talk about it, I'm like, holy shit, people actually know this.
Yes.
It's not just football, which is like, okay, football's cool, but
Are you more of like you have to go in 18 minutes or more like 48 minutes?
it's
'Cause
48 minutes. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Well, before we get into the MMA tangent, I'm so excited. What are your favorite drivers? I'm sorry if I use the wrong terminology. Simon's going for the audio listeners out there. Simon took off his headset. He's slowly walking out of the room, doing his old man hobble, and he's gone.
Who are my favorite drivers?
Yeah, I don't know what the
Like, what do
terminology
you
is
mean?
for like race car racing.
I mean, for F1, like Max is obviously like
No,
king of everything
fuck
right
Max.
now, right?
Because
All
these
right.
three, well, and Simon, they're big racing enjoyers, so I want to segment into this. Like, talk about your favorite drivers, all of you.
For the American audience, Carl Larson sucks. Uh, sorry, no. He's good, but like when he said he's on like Max's level, not a fucking chance, not a chance. But there are so many different like there's so many different series that you can look at. When we had the prototype and the GT racing here, like you could name off so many. I got to meet drivers like Harry King, Alex Malikan. They're like prototype. They were prototype races in the last 24 hours here. And the good thing about like GT and prototype in general is it's so much more accessible to the general public than Formula One. Formula One has become so elitist, and so actually, again, through the keyboard hobby, I managed to. It was the only reason I was able to go to Silverstone last year. So I was able to go to the Formula One last year. I might go this year. I don't know yet, but I need to book a holiday. So we'll see. But
To be
Formula
fair-
One is so elitist in comparison to GT or stuff. Like we met someone like a PR communications director in the stand, and then she 2 minutes later she's like, "Oh yeah, do you want to come into the garage for a pit stop?" Which is like, and we are literally meters away from like being able to witness that, and that's like one of the coolest things that you can in the middle of a 24-hour race. You go and you watch that. They're so humble. Ironically, Danish drivers, Danish team. Yeah. I also work for a Danish company now, so.
Are you at Tanghus working for the same company? I'm just joking.
No.
No.
They most definitely are.
Unless Tanghus is like sending boats around the world. Well, actually, no. Every Danish person I know works in shipping, so maybe.
I mean, I am working for a subcontractor to another company in logistics. So, I mean, we do
No.
handle boats to a degree, like anything that's offloaded here, but I mean, basically, we have fuck all going on. Like in Denmark, if you want to look at it, like we have Lego bricks. The tallest point in the whole country is man-made. The tallest natural point is like 117 meters above sea level. So like there's fuck all here if you really want to be So all we do is boats.
Boats.
And
Yes.
even that we're kind of failing at compared to like international competition now if you want to look at how Maersk has basically been steadily declining. But
Yeah. But that's
the thing is,
that's another reason I closed the vendor because I think so. Simon knew that I was working in the same place for 6 years and kind of fucking miserable, and that Sankey's was a distraction for me to kind of cope with things. But I got this new job, and then I was like, this changes everything, right? It's a lot more senior, it pays a lot more money, and it's a lot more responsibility. And I think I don't know if Tanghus can kind of agree with what I'm saying, but the way Danish companies are kind of run, there's not really a hierarchy, but at the same time, you're extremely responsible for what you've been paid to do, and if you don't, you're going to get fired. It's as simple as that. There's no politics or anything like that. So I kind of had to switch gears very quickly in November last year. And so had to close the vendor because I want to pursue like studies as well. So just no time. But if I wasn't making money out of Sankey's, then like what's the point in keeping it open, right? So it's cool to run group buys and stuff, but I can still be a designer if I really want to. Yeah. So
You don't have to worry about all the
Actually,
customer service.
fun what you mentioned, like with the mentality for the Danish work, is like it's like throughout the whole organization, and you could basically have someone like who's working on the floor go and like call out the CEO, say like basically what the f are you doing? Like You have no understanding of this. Like, this is what's doing. This is what's going on the floor here, and like get this fixed, and it will be done. Like, it's much less formal, but that's overall embedded into the culture. And also, I think it's one reason why we're also actually doing quite well in prototype racing, which is also the only bit of racing I'm really following anymore is prototype.
Yeah.
And as you're saying, a Danish team, because again, that hierarchy mentality is just like running throughout. Like, everyone does a job, and all our jobs are basically equal, because it is the sum of all of us that does the great.
What drivers in that racing are you watching, or well, who are your favorite drivers, Tanghus?
I basically, not by saying follow. I do, like we say, by a margin. I rarely follow. We have a few upcoming drivers I do follow, but I haven't been sitting down watching racing for years. Basically, not having the time because of, say, work. Because opposite of Baul, like running, like work coming in as a foreigner into a Danish company, it's actually rough as a Dane to come into a foreign company to adjust.
I gotcha.
So yeah, I don't have time to watch racing at the level I used to do either. I do have friends who's like really into like the scene and also does media on the racing, and good friends. Again, cars. So brought us into this, and some just decided to stay for racing. So really, I sympathize a lot, but I don't have the time or capacity to watch. But I think as far as prototype, like, it's always been more fun to watch because it's just this. It's much more grounded. Formula One has, even back when I was a kid, back in the early 2000s, and like Formula One has always just been elitist through a bone because it is basically the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
But prototyping is basically where you see the fun racing. This is where it gets less formal. It's basically where one mistake can screw it up for everyone. So basically, we have to work together. Especially when in endurance races, because when you have people working through, when you work together as a team, because your actions will have consequences for the next one, or the next, or the next, or the whole effort. I used to be big into not so much K-Mac, but I used to follow his father quite a lot. Big Mac, or Jan Magnussen, was one of my big favorites. Like, one of my favorites, like, of all the Danish drivers is Nicholas Kieser. Like, he got very into, like, shortly into Formula One. Very, very unsuccessful, but decently successful prototype. And just, like, he's such a, like, this adorable, massive car nerd. And just, like, his hyper-focus is essentially cars. Had quite a nice collection for years, even on R34. Skyline just, like, go on and ramble about, like, the great. But yeah, that was complete sidetrack.
No, dude, because I want to hear Simon and James as well. James, who's your favorite driver?
So I'm
Drivers.
I'm the complete opposite, though. I would say, like, I only follow Formula One, so I'm not really into, the other series because I am an elitist. But yeah, nowadays I watch anyone, and I root for anyone else but Max Verstappen.
I just like, I only say Max because he's got the zero fucks attitude now, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
When
Simon,
I go to the US, I want to go to a NASCAR event.
Oh, hell yeah, dude!
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother!
Well, NASCAR or IndyCar, I guess either or.
We have a sprint car in Knoxville, like 20 minutes away.
Also, the good thing about America is you actually have grassroots motorsport. Like it doesn't cost an arm and a leg to get into. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist here. Like, I think that the cheapest spec race is like $250,000. So it's very expensive unless you do a project car, which one of my friends actually suggested that we do in the winter.
Oh god.
Yeah, sure.
I don't make that much money yet, but we'll see. Yeah, but
Holy shit.
yeah, like, you guys have it so nice with like a lot of these things.
Yeah, the accessibility here is real
yeah.
nice for like car parts, accessibility to like older vehicles, accessibility to like people that can work on those vehicles. It's the one advantage, yeah.
Even the basics such as autocross, like all this, I would kill to have that here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically like in my youth we had nothing, so all we did was desert street racing, which was basically only limited to drag race in the industrial areas because it's not accessible.
Right.
And when
right.
they tried to make it accessible, it was wildly popular. And like, get the kids out instead of like having them to try and learn their cars in some back alley on a Saturday, fueled by some guy next to him in a Fiesta full of basically nothing, and right in a crowd. Do it in a controlled manner. Make it accessible to people, and it will help. It also benefit becoming them a better driver. Get the foresight. But yeah. I would kill to have stuff like autocross here.
Oh man, Simon, when James, Tanghus, and Paul, well, either one of them or all of them, they come to the US, we're gonna bring them to the monster truck rallies. You know,
Fuck
with like
yeah, let's go.
big
What is
Bigfoot and
demolition
shit like
derby
that.
shit? Like what?
Wait,
Is
Yeah.
and we got to go to one where they still crush the cars.
Yes, they don't crush them
Okay.
anymore.
In a lot of them, they don't crush them anymore for like safety and like cleanup reasons, because like cars are, I mean, they're notoriously full of like glass shards, metal shards, and terrible liquids that are impossible to clean up. So, yeah, you have to pay extra to like go one of the ones where they fuck up cars.
But the ones that like they're building like these massive frames into them, like basically build a sturdy cage and then you wreck the whole thing. So I don't need the glass, don't need the remove all the bad shit and just like watch people slam into each other.
Yes.
Derbies are great.
You can do that.
What's the cheapest engine you can find? Slap it in, build a roll
The
cage.
cheapest engine you
Job
can
done.
get is free. I guarantee you, I could go for a 10-minute walk and come back with an engine.
Do you know what? I've got an idea.
I'm not even fucking joking. We've got like 2 neighbors on our street. One of them has a fucking helicopter he's working on in his yard.
What?
Yeah. And like multiple
Is it not
trucks and like, dude, everybody's got like so many fucking project vehicles here. It's insane. And then there's the one guy with all the project vehicles, the guy with the helicopter. So yeah, like I could walk outside and come back with an engine for free.
I've got a stream idea for you.
All right, let me sort out like my transportation situation. Bro,
No. You'll like this. You'll like this. You'll like this.
The bike I was going to buy yesterday, I wake up in the morning, I open Facebook Marketplace, it's sold.
Oh no, the gold wing.
I was so upset. Yeah,
Listen,
it was the cheapest one with ABS that I could find, and now like there isn't really another option, so I got to keep an eye out and like pounce on the next guy that pops up.
This is the
listen.
joy of marketplace. Wake up in the morning, spot a great deal, ignore it. Go
Yep,
to bed.
I should have messaged the
Wake up
fucking
the next
guy.
morning,
I should have
see what deal
messaged
is
the
gone.
fucking guy. I'm sure he didn't even fucking get asking
Try.
price for it.
Go to bed, repeat.
It was
He's
listed
so
for
bad.
5 weeks or 6 weeks, bro. And like I even like showed it to my brother. I'm like, I'm gonna reach out to the guy. And he's like, nah, it's fine. It's been listed for 5 weeks. It's not going anywhere. Uh-huh.
You know what?
Whatever.
We're gonna do it again.
It is preordained by the gods of Thok and Clock and Thwomp, okay? So the next bike's gonna be better. It's gonna be cheaper, better, and sexier, okay?
You need to do 24 hours of lemons.
But yeah,
No.
yes.
That's the
I mean,
stream
I'll-
idea. It's
I'll-
$500, right? So
Please,
think
Simon.
about it.
He's
So don't
thinking.
think about it, just do it.
Nike,
Get,
just do it.
Get Dadison to sponsor the car. I believe they have actually sponsored some vehicles in like local Japan racing. Like I've seen the
I think it was like
their
pseudo
thing on,
formulas, right?
on some, might not be the same company, but
Get a Malay car and just go like beige lightning.
Fuck, dude.
I'm all for this. Do
Yeah.
that.
Please, this would
yeah,
be
all
this
right.
would be fucking
new,
awesome.
new group buy.
Yes.
$500 for a absolute shitbox that can maybe run for an hour. It runs on hopes and
More
dreams.
ChatGPT radio.
All you need.
I mean, the nice thing is like you're allowed to spend unlimited money on like safety shit. So like, you know, brakes, roll cage, like fire suppression systems, like seats, restraints, all that shit. So like, you'll be all right.
But unlimited
Maybe.
means that there's no upper limit, but it also means there's no lower limit.
Okay,
He's
no,
thinking
no.
ahead.
No. You guys aren't fucking strapping me to a seat made out of fucking cardboard with some twine and calling it a roll cage, okay? No.
Cushion's
No, I
optional.
refuse. I do not consent.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Seat cushioning is optional. Yes.
Yeah.
What if we make you a nice cage of PVC pipe?
PVT roll cage? The most brittle fucking thing ever. It'll just crack instantly.
Oh,
This may
Give a man a false sense of security. And you'll
be
watch
the
him.
first. This will be the first stream and the last stream of the series. Goodbye, Simon.
It's
Goodbye.
a fuck cage, not a roll cage.
it's just foam.
But yeah, that's fine. Why don't you just foam it up? Just foam everything up. Yeah. Holy
Yes,
fuck.
your seat is made out of poron. There you go, job done. Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Africa, expanding foam.
Christ.
Well, I'm going to save.
I'm
going
ready
to
to
save.
go, baby. I'm ready to go.
Is that? Oh, that's not the seat right there. Part of the seat.
That's the
transmission
radiator. It's the radiator, bro. We got one on each side.
That's sufficient.
Well, I will save the MMA talk for the next episode we have with Paul because I want to go balls deep in there.
We will.
Yeah.
Balls.
We will. Simon is optional, I assume, to that one because he fucking hates mixed martial arts.
It's not I hate it. It's I don't know. Dude, I don't know sports shit. You were going through like favorite sports person. With a gun to my head, I could not tell you a person that plays sports currently. I might die in that situation. Like everyone I think of is like old. So like I don't fucking know. I don't know who still does sports.
Bro,
Like
we'll say
Messi.
Tom Brady.
I know Messi does.
you go.
Messi retired, right?
No,
I
he's still
presume.
playing. He's
Still fucking playing?
He's in Miami. You know.
He's in the retirement league.
Yeah.
AKA the
MLS. Yeah.
What the? I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. I wish I.
It's hardly a thing. It's not worth
It's not a
watching.
thing. It's not a thing.
It's
Sorry,
nice to
MLS.
watch.
enjoy. Yeah.
It's missing the key good thing about football, which is relegation.
Yeah, Simon. So, different leagues that you're in. If you do a bad enough job, you get dropped to a lower league. But in MLS, we don't have.
Did you just mansplain relegation? Bro, I've seen Ted Lasso. I know what relegation is.
Fucking hell.
Sorry, I'm
That's-
sorry.
That's good.
But I'm gonna hand it off to James because Paul has been a fantastic guest, and we want to let him go before it devolves too much. But James has a question for you, Paul.
Yes. We need leaks for your upcoming projects and stuff that you are secretly working on.
Yes, give us the leaks, Paul.
Yeah, what are you working on, man?
Well, I need to speak to you, obviously, about the keycap stuff.
Shit, I need to speak to both of you about the other keycap stuff, the cake keycap stuff. It's happening now.
Nice.
I'm deleting
like,
Discord
I'm
after
done
this.
I'm done with my move, so like we may as well like get started. So Joms, I gotta reach out to you to like figure out kitting or whatever. Paul, I'll probably need to talk to you for desk mats
Yep.
and maybe even like
but I
lead
think we all use
vending.
the same.
I don't know.
We all use the same supplier now, but well, actually, I hope not.
For keycaps? I mean,
For-
I'm
for
talking
desk
about
mats.
Xiaomi. Oh, well, I want the Bussy Town.
You want the Bussy Town? Okay.
The Bussy Town.
It's such a good desk mat. I still have it with 1 million Cattos in it, but it's okay.
We have Beige Town as well.
Oh, we have Beige Town. You do.
That's not the same.
It's going to be more
Better.
practical because you won't see the stains as well on the Beige Town.
I want to see the stains. That's the whole fucking point of Bussy Town. See, you guys clearly misunderstood the project or the assignment. It's called Bussy Town.
Oh, man.
Right.
You're supposed to just come on.
That's good. That's good. So I think like the I've been really slow on a bunch of projects because I've just been wanting to close down, right? So like I've been slacking a bit, but
I mean, you've closed down formally, right?
yeah, officially no.
So nothing
So, like,
new in, but you're still processing out.
No, fully done.
Oh.
Yeah.
So do you still, like-
Altair came
Yeah.
a week before my license expired. I got it shipped out the next day. So
So you have no stock in your house?
I have a lot of stock that I can't legally sell. So
Okay, so it's company stock. How does that work?
it just comes to me now. In terms of closure, like I have to declare what I owe. I have to close all bank accounts and stuff like that. So all that process was done. And like any inventory has to be declared. They do that to make sure that you're not doing any tax things. But because I'm so far under the threshold, like I don't need to. I don't
Yeah,
need
you're
to
already paying
declare
tax.
anything. So basically, I have a bunch of keycaps and a bunch of desk mats that, like, if there are like meetups or stuff, I'm just going to give them away. It's
Based.
There's a couple of JCS sets. Okay, pay me like $10 and you can have it, kind of thing, right? Like, I don't care at this point. I can still send stuff with personal mail, so it's not an issue. Yes, I'll send you DCS Alps, James.
Thank you.
Yeah, James just scored big. Now I just need somebody to send me Alps.
Yeah, would be nice.
I'll go
okay,
hunting.
so TA90 is something that we need to finish working on. And then in terms of like any board projects or stuff, I'm still in like two minds to do like not a version 2 of Safa, more of a kind of similar concept where it's like basic, like it's a basic TKL, but I want to do it out of some like exotic material rather than just a thing. So
Tungsten?
That.
Mercury?
there's a composites company that like I've been talking to in Russell Kamer, and they do like a lot of car part exports.
Composite?
You know where I'm going with this. I don't really want to. I don't want to say that it's going to happen anytime soon because I don't know with the job that I have now. But between that and maybe releasing my ergo, but at the same time, like I don't know if I want to do it as like a project. Okay, I'm just going to put the files on GitHub. I'm not sure, like how I'll do it yet, but we'll see. I also kind of want to work with vendors that kind of align with me a bit better, because
Oh no, boys, we got there eventually.
Balls.
no. They did good with it. They helped remake the board. Let's not go there. Type E is a great board. If you don't have one, go buy it.
You should.
A bunch of
Type E is
prototypes
nice.
still exist. To be fair, I still have 30 kilos worth of Type B in my bedroom.
What? Oh,
See, who needs a girlfriend when you got 30 kilos of type B in the
But
bedroom?
that's the
Oh, you just
fucking
go,
problem, dude. Every time like someone comes over, what are all these boxes?
they're just keyboards. Oh, sure, you're into keyboards. Who's into keyboards?
Keyboards. Yeah, and it's like each box is like 40 kilos worth, like 10, 12 different keyboards inside. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you selling here? Like, so I managed to throw out a bunch of boxes and like make it take up a little less space, so it's a little less obvious, and kind of cover it up with a blanket or something.
Dude literally just has a warehouse in his fucking bedroom. Trying to hide it from the ladies. Don't look at the warehouse, baby.
Literally. But it's in my fucking bedroom, which is the worst part, So,
No, it's the
like
best part.
the bed is there, right? And it's like facing this way, and the boxes are there. So There's no TV or anything like that. It's just, hey, babe, fuck. Like,
How about like buy a small ladder and like just put them under the bed and just have this ladder going up to the bed?
yeah, I'm a man, so I don't really give a shit about furniture. So I buy the cheapest bed frame and all that. So come on, you already know this. I'd sleep on a mattress on the floor if I had to.
And just lay out the boxes and just put a mattress on top.
You
Feng
know
shui.
what? You know what?
Oh,
I like it. I like it.
Or
All
Danish
you
fan.
truly need is a mattress and a television. That's basically how I start out at any new place if I have nothing. Mattress, TV. Figure everything else out later, all right?
For
That's
me,
all
it was
you
the
need.
couch. It was the couch and then the TV. That was
Yeah, I mean, the couch is the bed. It's the
Yeah.
mattress. It's bonus.
Yeah.
shit.
But yeah,
Well,
like
I
I
think it
have
took
to
me
get
like
rid of
2
all
years
those
to get a
boards
couch
somehow.
when I
What was
bought
that,
an
Tanghus?
apartment. I think it took me like 2 years to get a couch the first time I moved for myself into an apartment.
Yeah. So it was just mattress and TV for you as well, huh?
Pretty much.
That's
They
all we
weren't
need.
even in the same room.
That's all we need.
We are simple creatures. It's okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I didn't get couches until like I found like used couches and it was like a set of 3 and they were leather. So like you can buy used leather. It's fine. And they were real fucking sussy and real cheap. And I'm like, fuck yeah, that's my new couch. That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
Exactly how you do it.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's awesome, Paul. We know that like you said in your closing announcement, that you're still going to be designing. So we'll be on the lookout for Triumph Adler, which can be found, like notes can be found in your Discord and in James's Discord. But yeah, other projects
Mostly
we'll look out
James's
for.
Discord.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
Hey Paul,
But-
are you gonna do the NWO 5000 with us this year?
Yeah, like before I do like any of my projects, I've got a few things outstanding for others. Simon's board will be the first to be looked at. But
Joms,
Yep.
you're also welcome to get involved with the NWO 5000 because like
Oh my god! An
it's just
ultimate
one problem
collaboration.
that it's just like one problem that needs to be solved, which is it's a large problem. It's like the hinging mechanism and doing it in such a way in which it doesn't fall apart or break.
Just
kind of
use
situation.
Gion's solution and
Gion's
charge-
solution is far too complex because
charge
remember that
$800
there's too many
for-
parts in Geon's.
forget about charging. Like the whole concept is when the group buy starts, day one, when the group buy goes live, it's fully open sourced, 100%. Fusion files for like licenseless. You can do whatever the fuck you want with it. Like it's going to be like just fully thrown out there. So it needs to be something accessible. It needs to be something machinable. Like if it costs $700 because of the material, that's fine, right? But let's do it as intelligently as we can.
Yep. Yeah.
Question,
I
though.
mean, the board itself, the shape of it, all that kind of stuff
Oh,
is
it's
there.
set.
It's literally just the mechanism that we need to figure out. So
Yep.
Mhm.
And like PCB, like Gondo's willing to do it for free, since like I'm not fucking making any money from this. General premise is people can donate to the designers if they want, and that's it.
Oh, dude.
Considering it's based on a 5000, like you're saying you want the mechanism to be sturdy and hold. That's not really true to the source material, is it?
It's not.
Because like the original ones, they are basically brittle as.
Yeah, and you can tent it, whereas an aluminum one you wouldn't be able to tent it this way.
Yeah, but you can
You
still tent it on
need to have the
original ones,
sliding
but it's, like,
mechanism.
It's
but you-
quite floppy. Like,
Yep.
It's not a great mechanism.
Yep.
The original one.
Yeah,
So why
like
do we want yours to be great? Like the original isn't great. Let people experience the true.
but it's the future.
we're coming back to the fucking
We have
PVT
the
roll
technology.
cage thing. But
Oh,
no,
fuck.
Just use foam. Just use a peron to connect them together. And then whenever it breaks,
Here's a
you
new
get the
board, here's a
true
board,
experience. Yep, exactly.
but 2 layers of foam with like silicone lubricant in between, just to let it, yeah.
Oh, you had me at lubricant.
Mm. Oh fuck.
I still have
Well,
half a kilo of Krytox if you want it. I'll send it.
Yes,
baby.
Yes, yes. Krytox party. Me and Huber, let's go. We're getting into the bathtub, baby. Oh,
have your visitors ever asked why do you have half a kilo of lube? It's just the
it
keyboard.
doesn't say lube on it.
Oh, it doesn't?
No, but like I've
It
had
says performance lubricants.
wow,
That's so much worse
that's
than
good.
it can be.
But I've never. Oh my god, it's everywhere.
Back when I used to build keyboards in my bedroom, back when like I only had a bedroom and like lived with two other guys, like the first house in Dubai when I started streaming, like sometimes like girls would come over and be like, is this sex lube? And it'd be super lube. And I was like, no.
So you and your roommates, how close are you all to? Like, how close is your relationship? Oh shit. Well, I will segment this into the good keyboard friend of the week. But before I do that, again, we'll talk with Paul again for many future episodes. I do want to say, on behalf of all of us, you don't get this enough, Paul, but thank you, dude. Thank you for being a good keyboard friend. Thank you for everything that you do. What you did with My Keyboard EU, like the steps you took to help everybody out, even though you didn't have to. When things go south, you handle it the right way, even if it's not your fucking fault. You look out for us as people, as humans, not just as consumers. You help out in many different ways. You're just a good dude. You're a good friend, and you're amazing. And you should be thanked. And we appreciate that there's people like you still in the hobby, even if
love
you're not
Paul.
a vendor.
We all love Paul.
Yeah.
Everybody that has ever met Paul loves Paul. Paul is the fucking best. Never change Paul.
Some people would argue he's a good keyboard friend.
The best.
I try. No,
He's
Thank you.
probably one of the best keyboard friends.
thank you for that. But I wouldn't be like that without meeting other people that are like this also in the hobby. So it's not just it's not me. Like there's so many that are like me that want to do the right thing. So
See? There we go. Point proven.
Humble as can be, yeah. But yeah, and this is to the audience. I'll try and look into the camera so you can look straight into my eyes. For the audio listeners out there, I'm opening my eyes as wide as I can, which is hard because I'm Asian.
For the audio listeners, I have no such problem.
Oh God. But you, the audience, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to nominate a good keyboard friend, someone like Paul, someone who's done something positive for you or the community, please reach out to us. Our socials are in the descriptions of whatever website we have these episodes on. You can reach out to us on Discord. You can leave a comment if it's on Spotify or on YouTube. I don't know if you can leave a comment on Amazon Music or Apple, but please nominate someone. We'll shout them out for you at the end of the episode. Just remember, whatever you put in, we're going to say. So don't include any personal information if you don't want us to bring it up. But please send us your nominations for Good Keyboard Friend of the Week, and we'll shout them out at the end of the episode. But with that being said, I do want to get to the Good Keyboard Friend of the Week. If anybody else has a good keyboard friend, feel free to, but I'm going to tell our host's nomination, and then I'll hand it over to Paul for him to give his nominees. This one is a personal one for me. It is Hoff, or Hoffmanmeister. I don't know if many people know. Yeah.
I was just looking at him yesterday.
Oh, really?
I was lurking on the Geek Hacks.
Yeah.
Really digging. And he was there, and I thought of him, and I was like, damn, it's been a long fucking time.
I joined the hobby kind of late, so I don't know. I missed the whole Geek Hack active portion. I know he was super active in Geek Hack, but for me, all that I knew of him and how I was introduced to him was he works for Drop. He's into the keyboard hobby. He's a Geek Hack moderator, and he's just a good dude. What he did for me when I first tried to create content just to create content, just like stupid sound tests and stuff like that. Like, I'm not a content creator. I just like to create things and just post them.
He says stupid sound test, but I assure you, it's not stupid in the way that you think it is. It's stupid because it's 3.5 hours long, and it's entirely typing for 3.5 hours. But it is a fantastic sound test. Okay, just so you guys know, it should definitely be linked down below. It is a fantastic sound test.
Oh, dude, I hope you haven't seen my 8-hour sound tests.
Excuse me, fucking what?
Dude, I'll get back
I
to
don't
good
even
keyboard
sleep
friend,
for that long, so like I can't even put it on to sleep.
I fucked myself because I was thinking I have all these different plates for the Frog Mini Ligera, and I have an aluminum plate. An aluminum case, a gummy. I have an acrylic gummy case, and I have a tray mount alu case. So I'm just gonna make a sound test with all those 3 cases, with all 11, 12 plates, with 8 different switches, 4 different keycaps. I thought they were each gonna be 3 hours long. They're fucking 8 hours long, and I'm only halfway through. I have to finish them though.
I love it. I love it.
See, people, this is what autism is like.
Let the men finish, okay?
Okay.
It has to finish. It's
Oh
important.
my god. Yeah, but
He is
So-
doing the Lord's work.
exactly.
Yep, the Dark Lord.
Absolutely.
But fuck yeah, Hoff reached out to me, asking if I wanted to write articles just about keyboard things, and it didn't have to be specifically about drop because I don't get any money from any clicks or any products that I say. It literally, do you want to write about keyboard topics? It doesn't matter what it is. And he reached out to fucking me. Like, who am I in the grand scheme of things? I'm not a huge content creator. I don't have any clout. The fact that he was wanting to do that is awesome. He's a super nice dude. He and his wife just had a baby, recently, so congratulations. But I think anyone can attest to how nice of a person he is if you reach out to him. He has been one of the individuals who has helped when vendors have gone down. Project Keyboard, I think he bought out their whole stock of GMK Sumi. I think it was GMK Sumi. Many different keycap sets that people that were affected haven't been able to get. He sold them for way less than cost. He's just a good dude. He's super nice. He looks out for the community, and I just want to give him much love. So that's the good keyboard friend of the week for me. If any of our co-hosts have a good keyboard friend, go ahead. But if not, I'll hand it over to Paul.
Super quick. Danielson, you know what you've done? A lot of it I can't say publicly. We're always thinking about you. You're the fucking best.
I'll do a
James?
shout out then.
Yeah.
We got one guy in the Danish community, and last year, out of hyperfocus, he decided, I can run a meetup, which he did. Then this year came around. The guy was like, oh, fuck, I have to run a meetup again. But he actually pulled through, and he's been doing hard work, getting it all set up, getting it to run again. And he's been struggling, like feeling that he's been sitting with it alone, and like no one should sit with it alone. There's no obligation to him. So not only Wolf would I like to shout out to, but actually one of the guys that decided to say I should help him. It is actually in this room with us.
This
Well,
is James.
Jumps
I don't
actually
know.
also this
I don't
week's
know.
very good keyboard friend for helping out Wolf and setting up the meetup. And it'll be a blast again this year, the Danish meetup.
It's gonna be
Basically,
so
thanks
fun.
to those two guys.
It's gonna be
So,
so
like,
fun. But
This is
like,
doing things for the hobby, and it's like a monumentous task, and people are doing it. And if you wish to do it, you're never alone. Just reach out to people and ask.
Hell yeah.
Like,
What's his name?
everyone will regulate each other. It is basically Wolf. That is his handle. They'll go like that on Discord. You'll find him in the EKC.
and so
but
basically he is running the
tracking-
meetup with 2 guys, me and Tanghus, bothering him all the time. So we made his job extra difficult this year, but still great that he's still doing it, and he's gonna do a great job. Looking forward to it.
He did a excellent job last year. First time doing it, and basically nailed it. Great little meetup. And I'm sure he'll nail it again. And like these people do this for the benefit of the hobby. He's not really doing it for himself. He doesn't have any interest in it, but he's doing it for the hobby. Like these are the people that we should shout out to. These are the good keyboard friends.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Bit more altruism wouldn't hurt.
Agreed. James, do you have anybody? If not, I'll hand it over to Paul.
I'll do a double shout out to Wolf. Just thank you for his contributions. All right,
Fuck yeah.
Paul.
All right, Paul.
Okay. I don't know if this is going to be cheating, but I kind of want to do it as like as a group more than anything. But I do want to shout out the Arab Met community group in particular. There's like 5 or 6 of them in particular that they'll know I'm talking about them. Especially people like Lovidor and Infected.
Lovey, infected.
They don't. I mean, they're a part of the keyboard community as much as like anyone in terms of like joining group buys and all that kind of stuff. But it's outside that where they're like they're really really special people, really nice people, always willing to offer a hand when things are down. They we have similar interests. They're all very good people. They'll fly in from Qatar on a day's notice if they want to see you, right? And it's like people like that who kind of show their intentions and they don't bullshit about anything. Those are like the people that the good keyboard friend, like they're good friends that I've met through the hobby, right? So that's kind of how I approach it. So there's a particular group of people within that community. They are very special people to me personally, and it's all thanks to this hobby. So, yeah, I just want to give a shout out to these guys because they're good people.
Shout out to the boys.
Shout out to the boys.
So thank you, Hoff.
We'll all fly to the US and come visit.
Oh yeah, dude, we're gonna party like it's no other. Oh, dude, but yeah,
Ain't no
thank
party
you.
like a
Arab party. Hell yeah! Thank you, Hoff. Thank you, Danielson. Thank you, Wolf. Thank you, Arab Mechanical Keyboard Community, and thank you, Paul. And thank you to the audience, all of you that have watched and listened. You can catch us on YouTube if you want to see the video version of this episode, and you can catch us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon. There's a shit ton of podcasting websites that you can catch us on. All descriptions and I'll put all the links in the description below. Paul's information I'll put in the description below. And again, for everyone out there, thank you for being good keyboard friends, and see you next episode.
Bye.